Hello, what we're going to be covering in the next few videos is we're going to be working with strings in Python. So text is one of the most common forms of data your programs will handle. You already know how to concatenate two string values together with the plus operator, but you can do much more than that. You can extract partial strings from string values, add or remove spacing, convert letters to lowercase or uppercase, and check that strings are formatted correctly. So typing string values in Python code is fairly straightforward. They begin and end with a single quote, but then how can you use a quote inside a string? So strings in Python can also begin and end with double quotes, so just as they do with single quotes. One benefit of using double quotes is that the string can have a single quote character in it. So if I go ahead and type in spam equals to Spitzy is Mike's cat, and then I go ahead and display that, I'm able to include that single quote within that string. Another way that I could do that is by using an escape character. An escape character lets you use characters that are otherwise impossible to put into a string. An escape character consists of a backslash followed by the character you want to add to the string. So what I can do here is I can go ahead and set spam equals, and then I can use a single quote is, and then what I need to do is I need to include my backslash single quote. That's the escape character for single quote, and go ahead and display that. Oh, okay, I need to specify spam. So there we go. This is John's mother. So what you could do it either way. You can use either a double quote or you can use an escape character and put the string within single quotes. Some of the other escape characters are backslash double quote to include a double quote, backslash T for a tab, backslash N for a new line or a line break. And if you want to include a backslash in a string, it would be double backslash. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and print the following out. Hello, one. And then what I want to do is I want the next phrase to go ahead and print on a new line, so I'll include the new line escape character. So what should happen here is hello Juan should print on the first line, how are you in the second line, and I'm doing fine on the third line, which it does. If you want to include or ignore escape characters and print any backslash that appears in the string, you can go ahead and place an R before the beginning quotation mark of a string to make it a raw string. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this down, and I'm going to turn it into a raw string. So the first thing I'll do is specify my R, and then I'm just going to go ahead and change these to single quotes. So now if I hit enter, what I have is I actually have all the backslashes that were, or the escape characters actually get printed with the backslash and whatever the escape, the N for new line or single quote for single quote. So you can also have triple quotes. So while you can use the new line escape character to put a new line into a string, it's often easier to use multi-line strings. A multi-line string in Python begins and ends with either 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. Any quotes, tabs, or new lines in between the triple quotes are considered part of the string, and Python's indentation rules for blocks do not apply to lines inside a multi-line string. So What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and print, and then I'll add 3 single quotes. I'll specify Dear Alice, and then I'll go ahead and put in Eve's cat has been arrested for catnapping, cat burglary, and extortion. Sincerely, Mike. And then I'll put my 3 double quotes, and in my string values, now if we display that, that string displays on multiple lines without adding the new line escape character. It's fairly easy to go ahead and access individual characters in a string. You can do that by using a for loop. So let me just go ahead and specify name equals to Juliet. And then I'll just write for ch in name. So what this does is it extracts each character in the string. And I will go ahead and print out that character. Hit enter twice. So what it does is it iterates through the string, printing out each one of the characters in the string. Another way that you can access the individual characters in a string is with an index. So each character in a string has an index that specifies its position in the string. Indexing starts at 0, so the index of the first character is 0. The index of the second character is 1, and so forth. The index of the last character in a string is 1, less than the number of characters in the string. So let me just go ahead and set my string equal to roses are red. Hit enter. So if we look at how that string is indexed, the capital R in roses is at position 0, the O is at position 1, S is at position 2, so on and so forth. The length of our string is 13 characters, so the position of the last character in the string is at position number 12. So if we want to get the character at position 6, which is an A, what we can write is ch equals my string at index 6. So if we go ahead and display that, it'll go ahead and display A. If we want to get the characters at position 0, 6, and 10, which is the beginning of each word, it should display R, lowercase a, and a lowercase r. What we can do is we can just go ahead and print my string at position 0, comma, my string at position 6, comma, my string at position 10. So what that returns is the first character of each word. And then I can go ahead and use the negative index if I want to retrieve the position of a character in the string. So if I go ahead and specify my string starting at position negative 1, then my string at position negative 2, and then my string at position negative 13. But if we go ahead and look, the negative indexing starts at the last word, so that's negative 1, so it should print out D. It should print out E, and then it should print out the capital R. So if we go ahead and, oh, I need parentheses there, so that's what it did. It printed out D, E, and uppercase R. Okay, the length function can be used to get the length of a string, so we can go ahead just like a list, so we can put city equals to Boston, and then I can put our size equal to the length of our city. And what that should display now is 6, which is the size of our string Boston. The len function is especially useful to prevent loops from iterating beyond the end of a string. So if we go ahead and set index equals to 0, and then we want to index while index is less than our length of city. And what we're going to do is we're going to print each character at the index, so it'll just be city index, and then we need to add 1 to our iterator, and I'll hit enter twice. So what happens is it iterates through the characters up through but not including position number 6. So again, when you iterate through, you want to make sure and use make sure your index is less than the length of a city. So that's all I wanted to cover in the first video. So what we're going to be covering in the next couple of videos are slicing strings, and then we're going to get into the in and not in, and then several methods that you can go ahead and use with strings. So that's all I had. So we will talk to you later.